is up, misfits, one and all, to this episode of Skeptic and Ranting, the link between drones and end times prophecy. Who doesn't love the end of the world? Well, that's right, where we are indeed watching a video from the channel Grace Digital Network. James, it's a network. GDN, connecting people. As we watch a video titled The Link Between Drones and End Times Prophecy. So won't you join James W. and myself, Amy Newman, for a high-flying time at the end of the world. That's right. I do want to thank you all for joining us on the inner tubes. I don't know how they fit it through, but I'm glad they do. Please don't forget to like, follow, or subscribe. I said it. You can all let them go, okay? And then you can hit that bell icon to all, so that you can get reminders to see our premieres or join our live streams. Like, what is up, everybody? What is up, wonderful? What is up, Tsubami? What is up, Argon? What is up, Ember? What is up, Dale? What is up, Titan? And what is up, Shaker? That is right. Do. Sending so much love. Send love to us, and we'll send it back to you. I hope you all are having a fantastic weekend out there.
So Amy's going to do her. We decided she's just going to do her jazz hands demonstration tonight instead of the video because it's pretty silly. But
yes, I basically decided that I was going to turn myself into a drone and just go boom, 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 boom. Randolph, Dale asked, does Randolph still plan on continuing the Theist Helpline show every month, and will you be on the panel? I do believe that either Titan was feeling sick or he had something, so we postponed it a week. And so I think we are actually going live tomorrow. And what I'm trying to tell you all is I'm not going to bed tonight.
Titan was sick?
I'm not sure what the exact reason was. I could look it back up on Discord, but there was a valid reason. And they were like, hey, can we send it back a week? And they all said, yeah.
Oh.
I was like, oh, all right.
Okay. He's the producer of the show? Yeah.
Taco and Randolph, I think, both kind of produce it. And then we are the Talking Monkeys. I always like about talking about monkeys because creationists often use monkeys as like an insult. I guess I kind of did even in that joke. But monkeys are one of the smartest animals on Earth. I always like how you could get to like basically some of the pinnacles of not just human evolution, but of evolution. And if you're number 2, we're still gonna look at you and be like, these stupid.
But I mean, we went to the moon. They throw their poop at each other.
I know, and I actually get arguments like that from creationists.
Well, actually, humans throw their poop at each other too.
Well, and it generally happens in captivity, which
in mental settings
where you'll find it where humans are doing it too. Yeah. Exactly. And yes, we are talking about a fun one tonight, though. We are talking about the link between drones and end times prophecy. I have a prediction of I think the subject, James was kind of teasing me before, but where I think it will go with drones. I knew it was going to start with New Jersey, James. Can I just tell you that I knew the end of the world was going to start basically next to what's that
Thank
hamburger
you,
place?
Victoria. It's always alien. Yes.
You beat me to my punchline. Exactly.
It's Victoria.
It's gonna happen next to a Newcastle.
Always out there to steal my thunder. But like, as we all know, though, right? The Christians had been predicting about this drone incursion for hundreds of years, and we never understood what it meant before. But they were saying, like, yeah, there's going to be drones coming in New Jersey.
Right.
Just wait.
Wait.
There's going to be a bunch of stuff in the sky in New Jersey, and then you'll know that the Bible's true. And
do you know what both aliens and drones have in common, James? Both, I do believe, like to play at Atlantic City. I think, right?
they're just there to see Chris Christie, and
that's right. Oh my goodness! I like Chris Christie more than I did because of Orange Man, and yet he did kind of shut down a bridge. What are we talking about? Drones, not politics.
Snooki still there? Is she still in Jersey?
Yeah.
Snooki
is about to become a lawyer, right? I do believe this is the weird.
I have not heard
about
her in years, but
I'm trying to remember which one of those reality television stars. One of them is actually trying to become an academic, which I find both very endearing, intellectually challenging, and adorable. Nonetheless, I still support it in this anti-intellectual age. Please go to college. Were aliens on the Ark? They were driving the Ark, I think. We finally know who was making it rain, James.
Amy, the Ark didn't really have to go anywhere. Just had to float. So it didn't really have to sail. The waters could have been calm where the Ark was. It doesn't necessarily have to be where there's 30-foot waves coming crashing into the Ark.
I do love when they try and give like natural explanations for miracles, and then you're just like, well, then what's the point? Like when they try to explain the Red Sea, it's like it wasn't that, the seas magically parted. It was a low tide. Oh, I guess Hollywood really jazzed that one up. Everyone, quickly! God has given us the tide that generally goes in and out. Okay, it's low. Your feet are gonna be wet, but it'll be okay.
Yeah,
doesn't have the same effect as parts, I guess.
I mean, the frogs. I guess there was just an epidemic of frogs everywhere.
And for some reason, this whole video, I guess for obvious reasons, there's an obsession with locusts. I hate to be that person that, like, when they say that the Bible is talking about locusts, it's true, James, as they're going to talk about, it could be that they were machines made of metal trying to monitor the population, or it was ancient times and there were a lot of bugs.
Locusts.
One of these is more likely than the other. We'll never know which one.
It's like the book of Daniel that describes the battle that's going to happen, by the way. I mean, it's going to happen soon with chariots, horses, and many ships. It's going to happen. It is going to happen. Yeah. The king of the north will come with chariots, horses, and many ships. But I mean, it could just mean like.
Are you sure it's not the
or armored personnel carriers? That could be what it means, right?
It's true. It could mean armored personnel carriers, or it could mean any of the. They basically try and. It's like a fill in your own blank game. And are they going to be, have have any sort of chastisement towards the academic community. No, they're not part of the academic community. They're just random people on YouTube, however, or on the internet. However, this channel has millions of followers, which is the other thing that baffles me. And thus, here we are, James. Here we are. Yes.
It's not like the complete AI channel, like that Lion of Judah channel that I keep seeing. They
Okay.
always, it's like
Speaking
blatant
of which.
AI videos. It's like, okay, this is just an AI bot taking whatever's in the news and just making a video of it.
I'm still pretty sure that's where half of this is from, but you're
Yeah,
right.
most likely,
At least it's
most
half,
likely.
not 100%. But the other thing I love about this channel, and James knows also the other thing about tonight, is I had to stop myself from doing another topic. But I figured while drones are in the news, I mean, drones are going to be used probably for the foreseeable future in war, in photography, and anything else that we use tools for. But because, you know, once again, Trenton is involved, it's more topical. However, upcoming episode, definitely 100%. I don't know how much James can appreciate how funny this is. However, I guarantee you all of the other dorks can.
Do it to me.
But they made an anime, a Jesus anime on this channel. It's just fantastic. We're only going to go through, I think, the first chapter, only the first few minutes, but they have longer versions. Right? The Book of Revelation. But they give them a good intro.
Crazy shit happens. If you're gonna do an anime, you might as well do Revelation, right?
Gotta go all in. Do the fun parts. Do the end of the world. And yeah, we're definitely gonna look at Jesus with Kaiwi eyes. It took me so long not to stop laughing, and I had to be like, no, let's do drones, because I figured James would want to talk about a different subject anyway. Victoria beat me to it, but
yeah.
And can I tell you what the best evidence for aliens is? Completely taken over the History Channel. All right. And I feel like if they just go one channel at a time, they'll eventually control the media. And, you got to start somewhere.
History Channel, they got into the entertainment business like 15 years ago.
They're all trending towards reality TV. But not to get political, but is it everything? Anyway. The nihilism within me. Let's continue towards. Please like, follow, subscribe. Yes. We can send some shout outs and send some love. There are many ways to support the show. You can send in super chats and I'll dance around and do, as well as you can join our channel membership and get our evolving. I'm gonna cough. Hack. I have dry mouth badly. I send love to all of our evolving badge members because yes, things in life evolve. Generally speaking, we're talking about evolving. We are talking about biological evolution.
Well, I would say, Amy, your fluid intake is so high, but you know how salt is dehydrated. So there you go.
I do, however, hear that it is what plants crave. I think. That's what people are telling me. Some people. Some of the best people.
It's what Newman's crave.
It's what Newman's crave, Newman. James is growing up in the 90s. That's all I heard was that last name. With like...
Newman.
But it was always in the Seinfeld tone, and I never knew why, because I was too young to watch Seinfeld. So people would just come up to me, and they'd go, Newman. And I'd go, yes?
Hi. Hello?
Hi, I guess.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Now, if they started throwing mail at me, maybe I'd understand. That guy really is a good actor. My favorite is still him in Jurassic Park. He's the guy who kind of sets everything going in trouble because he steals the eggs and then goes to the porta potty. What a way to die. Well, we all gotta go somehow.
No, the lawyer is in the porta potty. The lawyer.
The lawyers?
The lawyer gets in the porta potty. He got eaten by the one dinosaur with the fancy my incredibly biological term, but that crazy shit around its head, the frill.
Oh, the spitting type.
Yeah, it spits the poison in his eyes, the venom.
It was the lawyer that ended up, huh?
Okay. Yeah. To see your mid-90s trivia time.
Because I remember both of their deaths. Maybe I haven't. Maybe you're right. Anyway, good movie.
It was a good movie.
That was Steven Spielberg, wasn't it? Good times.
It was, yeah.
And they ended up making a bunch of sequels. I do like the Velociraptors, but they probably aren't. They probably weren't 100% like that as described. They were probably pack animals. They were probably pack.
But they were more like a little bit bigger than a modern chicken, but that wouldn't be as scary for the film. So
sure.
Like, no, just make it big and scary.
I don't actually know how
you do what you
gotta
do for a movie.
But yeah, I'm sure they were deadly, and you wouldn't want to meet a pack of them. But
no, you sure
probably, yeah, a lot of them weren't. Gotta make things scary for the audience. I still love dinosaurs, though. Go dinosaurs! As if I'm rooting for them. Though creationists, speaking of which, just hate. The fossil record was planted by Satan. I stand by that. And speaking of Satan,
the most sense, right?
That's right. So sending love to our channel members, our badges do evolve, and our Patreons at patreon.com/Amy Newman. Going to send it out, and then we're going to send some quick love to our supporters, and then we're going to get into the fun. But sending so much love also out to Azo, reminding us we have a Skeptic and Ranting community. All you have to be in the Skeptic and Ranting community is skeptical. Hopefully towards your belief system. Have a good epistemology. That is to say, the toolkit of what you know. And yeah, thank you so much, Azo, as well as sending so much love to Chris Disciple. Thank you, Chris, reminding us that we do have theists in Skeptic and Ranting community. Again, the main component is you at least have some element of skepticism built into your belief system. I always worry about the people who tell me that they're 100% sure of anything. They're 100% sure they were not going to hit an iceberg. And sending so much love. I was watching. I couldn't help myself. I think it's the anniversary, the 1 year anniversary of was it Ocean Gate, whatever the company was called.
Oh, yeah.
And they were interviewing James Cameron because of his love for the deep sea diving and submarining, and just how these people were kind of playing with fire. Which
did he take a trip on it or no?
He did not. In fact, the way that, if I can accurately say this, I'm going to butcher it as a layperson, but that when you are working above ground, you have a wider selection of materials But when you are working underwater, when you're working with pressure, you don't want to use a composite material. You don't want to use two materials being mixed together, which is what their craft was. He said you could make something of titanium, you could make something, he said even something that we don't think of like glass, which you think wouldn't be that strong, be very durable under pressure, and yet as they mixed two materials, the binding would shift, and it didn't happen on the first time, and so they probably thought they were successful,
Right.
but it was just a matter of time until it eventually shifted enough, and thus under that.
But I mean that thing was like not the most sturdiest thing put together. It wasn't the most structurally sound. Like,
it was not.
The hatch had to be bolted on from the outside, so if you couldn't get out, you were stuck in there until they came with the huge the bolts and unbolted so you could get
Another
out.
thing that he pointed out is he said they had a warning system in case the materials started to unbind. And he said, already, there is your warning that you are creating a warning system. He said if you had used titanium, if you used iron or any other one metal alloy, you wouldn't have that problem. That is almost an unheard of thing in building submarines to have that. And so they knew, at least the people at the very top level, the guy himself, the investor, but they.
I mean, you do have to say, I mean, he believed in it. He died for it. So I mean, he really believed in it. He deluded himself.
The way that Cameron also says is that he thought that just like others, he said it wouldn't happen to me. So explosions can happen to other people, maybe, but won't happen to me. A misjudge of mortality.
I mean, you never died yet, so hey, you must think you got
keep on going.
Amazing, lucky streak going. Hey.
And then the final thing I'll talk about is that they said, and I already have, and I'll tell you, James, I have such an increasing, like, I know it's been trendy to hate the media. I've tried to defend the media for a long time. I remember having days where I was part of a campaign and trying to find my way, and I was like, is this for the people who are filming? And they're like, yeah, it's media. And I'm like, oh, well, does that mean I have to leave? And like, no, you're media. And I was like, oh, and it was a very golden moment to me. The cowardice, the absolute cowardice that I have seen from the Fortune 500 companies within and I told you I'm only gonna try and go half blue hair tonight, James, because I should just save it for a bit and go on stage and
sell it,
record it,
sell the blue hair,
but just the absolute. Can I just and I want to say this in my bit, but I'll say it now because I should say it over and over and over and over. Okay. Do you know who created the 58 genders thing? Who? Just pick. There's a wide variety of psychologists, of biologists, of gender theorists, of liberal politicians. Yeah, pick one. What fucking blue-haired, fucking, no bra wearing. Yeah. Do you have any guesses?
No guess. No, I don't know.
It was Mark Zuckerberg. It came.
I knew it had to do with Facebook
as a Facebook initiative, and just the absolute cowardice to now see them change these guidelines. Listen to me. I have dealt with the stuff that they're undoing, and all this stuff. I've dealt with it my whole life. I'll deal with it my whole life. I sometimes go into the dregs of internet commentary almost to argue with these people. And yet, to watch them basically, and you should hear the almost doublespeak, the Orwellian nature of these press releases, where it's like, in the nature of us wanting to be fair and kind to everyone, we're now going to let people call transgenders mentally ill. First of all, I thought that's just what religious people did. I thought that was just built into it. But joking, not joking. But like to come from the guy who sat there, and I'm just imagining this, with an apple like this. Like, give those blue hairs hippie fucking genders. How many genders you want? Oh, they'll pick a number.
57?
57? You can do better than that. How about 58? 58 sounds good.
Oh, yeah. Not like Heinz 57. We got to have one more gender than that.
Got to have one more. And then to have him turn around. And once again, the only thing in the back of my mind, I go, can I say the same thing to religious people? Am I allowed to go? Now, all the skeptics,
oh boy,
whenever you ever bring those subjects up, they automatically, as they should, don't call the theist stupid. Don't call the theist mentally ill. Maybe. We're better than that. Maybe. We know they're good, decent, hardworking, blah, 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 blah.
Some of them.
Exactly. Well,
some of them are stupid. Some of them are mentally ill, but not universally so.
But my point is, can we do that? Is that okay? Or am I going to get modded on Facebook for calling a religious person? Once again, I'd be a degenerate person for just having to do it, but can I be? That's where we're at, right? Cowards. It's all of them, though. Or a lot of them. Many of them.
I think a lot of people thought that they had won. The corporate America had been taken over and co-opted, and that they had gone down, maybe not the blue hair path, but they had gone decisively down that side.
I thought it was going that direction. I thought it was going that direction.
The battle is over. They won, and now it's
James,
just a matter of how far down that path.
We're getting more political. We're getting more, and I feel bad, but this is, in my opinion, more evidence. I know you disagree where I'm going with this, but it just shows me that and then the Roe v. Wade, to me, shows me that we are going into an era where rights are going backwards, where I asked myself, what was the next thing? And the next thing is to start slowly, systematically removing the rights that we had. And it is like the canary in the coal mine. It just starts with the gays. They coming for your Social Security. They coming for your Medicaid. They coming for your Medicare. They're coming for a lot more than that. Once again, James, it's getting bluer the more I talk. The Carlin in me is getting stronger, though. I want to so badly just go up there and vent because I have an anger that is powerful. An anger and a nihilism that is just becoming, and they told me that if you scratch, a pessimist, you'll get a wounded idealist, because I'm generally an optimistic person, and yet the level that I see idiocracy and our timeline converging. Anyway, all right, that's it. Yes. I'm done being blue. But back to drones.
Well, if we could keep if we could just, maybe the institutions be more neutral instead of being pushed to one side or the other. Where one side, it's like we declare victory, we have this, we can censor you guys, you go to hell. If we just try to keep it where neither side does that, then it would probably be better going forward. But that being said, I don't know that that's possible. That'll ever. Maybe that's over the idealistic thinking that could be the way it. I don't know.
I agree that we should be fair. I think we should treat both sides equally. I think when you look at those mod policies, the whole point, if you're even going to do, I mean, I am a politically incorrect, chaotic, good, but that's still chaos. I lean towards breaking the law, breaking rules, all of that stuff. But if you're going to set up rules, like, what is even the point at that point? And to get rid of fact checking, which I know they're going to say that leans liberal, and maybe because academia leans liberal. I think there's good reason for that. I think that they welcome conservatives in academia, but they're going towards community things. We're going backwards. Like, I was hoping we were going to go into a future where it was going to be a more empirical based information gathering source, and it seems to be like the powers to be wanted to make it more wild. Like, now Twitter is just whatever, just the backup for sources is just the community, the people. They vote almost as democracy. And the same is going to be true of Facebook, and TikTok's about to be banned. So what I'm trying to say is fuck the media and fuck the institutions that got us into this problem to begin with. I love the people. I love the people even that voted for the people that I disagree with. I am so frustrated with the situation that we're in. Anyway, Happy New Year, everybody. James, in a second.
You got 8 more days. 8 more days. Before all hell breaks loose.
It is going exactly the way I wanted. Or not I wanted, because that's not exactly the way I thought it would. Because if what I wanted was sane people. Anyway. Oh my goodness! No, we'll get Greenland. We'll buy Green. We'll go. You ready? Are you ready for the War of Greenland? I'm ready for it, James.
Canada's going to be a state. Maybe just a territory. Make Canada a territory because they wouldn't want all those Democrats and liberals.
Well, my favorite, least talked about. He said maybe Mexico.
Yeah.
So
at that point, he's just trolling.
Wait. Why at that point? He had you. Greenland and Canada was fine.
I mean, it's not that they're not ridiculous. It's not that they're not extremely unlikely. But I mean, Mexico. That's just one extra layer of the absurdity.
There's a word I really want you to use. Really want you. Come on. It's more than wacky. Or it is wacky. I'll accept wacky. You're getting closer.
Chaotic.
Stew.
Yeah.
Can I also say that wanting to buy Greenland over Iceland means that it worked, right? We all know that. We all learned that on trivia.
I mean, Iceland's an independent country. They're
aren't they all kind of? I mean,
Greenland's owned by Denmark as a possession.
So we're gonna get it. We're gonna buy it.
So we're buying it from Denmark.
Wait a minute. Mexico is an independent country.
Yeah,
they're not Spain.
I don't think there's any serious likelihood of that. But hey,
no, seriously, because then we don't have to deport people, right? They're already Americans.
Sure, there you go. Problem solved, right?
The liberals and the kids. I want to sniff lithium. I don't think you can, but just listening.
Could you make lithium gaseous? You probably could.
It reminds me of the gallon of PCP from Whitest Kids You Know.
There you go.
It comes in Callan? Yeah, I guess you got one right here. Apparently. Oh, my. The only quote that truly, when you're another Carlin, but when you're born, no. Obviously, I'm going to butcher it. This world is a freak show. When you're born in America, you get a front row seat. Paraphrasing, but that's the best I can do. Anyway, enough about the incoming Fallout 2025. Oh, we dated the episode. Or 2020, whatever you'd like.
Yeah.
I was playing Fallout New Vegas. I just started playing. Great game already. Anyway, we were doing shout-outs. James, I might have ADD. This is Miss New Vegas sending love to...
the episode even further.
Listen, Miss New Vegas is never going out. Sending love to Dale Pastel, reminding us that we're looking for empirical evidence. Not a lot, but just a little. Excuse me, had to cough. But also sending love.
Thank you, Dale.
Yes. They always complain about us wanting empirical evidence, but I then often get the question, now's the trendy question to ask, well, what proves science? Well, better science. And I get flack from that answer, but that's the only way that you can actually discern bad science is by using better science.
You can eventually get down to it. Like, how can you prove it? Well, right. At a fundamental level, you can't really prove anything 1,000% true. But if that's what you're worried about, then don't worry about anything. Don't worry about it.
Exactly. Don't go into your car. There's a good chance you're gonna get in an accident at that point.
Look at the trees.
Look at the trees. They are so beautiful, therefore God. Sending love to davegar, reminding us the world is 4.5 billion years old. And round, if you needed that reminder. Sending love also to Rachel Holen, reminding us that you shouldn't go to the nations around you and collect slaves. You shouldn't kill the men and take the women and children.
You know what I'm going to do?
Mm-hmm.
You know I'm going to do? I'm going to one day open up a bar catering to the LGBT community. I'm going to call it The Nations Around You.
The nations around you.
There you go. And then you can go to the nations around you and find a nice femboy to enslave. Perfectly
James,
consistent
I'm in.
With the Old Testament, with the laws of God.
That's right. All you got to do is raid that booty. What are we talking about?
You can go to the nations around you, and you can enslave whoever you want.
The only catch is you need to dress as if you're from the Bible. A lot of Marys.
Extra points for that.
And sending love to Regos, reminding us that the Bible is a little bit silly. They all have their own silly versions, whether it's the Quran, the Torah, Tanka, whether it's the reading golden plates from a hat.
The old golden, the golden plate ploy. That
If it were silver plates, you would know it was bullshit. But come on, golden plates.
Like the Jim Jones ploy. Remember the guy from Ghana, the mass suicide, where he was like, being gay is a sin. So if there's any men in the congregation that are gay, I will take that on myself. You will have sex with me, and I will take that out of you into myself. I will be the vessel for that sin so that you can relieve it from your body. I will do that for you as your pastor, as your leader. I will do that because I love you that much.
What an amazing man. A true mensch to take all of that gay sex so others
totally
don't have to.
totally selfless. Totally selfless.
Exactly.
He didn't enjoy any bit of it, mind you. It was
no.
He was not gay. He was not gay.
Exactly. That's what makes it so heterosexual. I think
he was almost as straight as Jesse Peterson, if that were possible. If that were possible to be as straight as him.
I feel like there's a very specific prayer that you say beforehand, and you go no homo, and I think they let you off the hook.
Well, maybe in Latin, especially.
Yes. Also, I think a cat is joining us. Yes, they are. And yes, last but certainly not least, sending love to Ian Davenport, reminding us that apologetic arguments are kind of crappy. Whether they are the teleological arguments, the cosmological arguments, the
bullshitological arguments.
I was almost going to say the problem of evil, but the problem of evil is actually more of one of ours, even though it doesn't affect atheists. But
the bullshitological argument.
The bullshitological. Sure, William Lane Craig is going to have Kalam cosmological argument on his gravestone.
What do you want on your tombstone?
And he will
Remember
say...
those commercials from the mid-90s? Or Tombstone Pizza?
Yes. I think we had it. They made a Tombstone Pizza.
After the 93 movie Tombstone came out, that was the thing, Tombstone. Tombstone Pizza.
I really do hope that on his actual tombstone it will say WLC began to exist so and so here. Premise B, WLC continued to live a life but was human. Therefore, conclusion, William Lane Craig began to exist but was a human. Therefore, he now lays in this grave. I feel like that would be the best gravestone. That was a long walk to get to the end of that joke. Oh my god, I'm still happy I made it.
His body still exists. It's just not alive anymore.
That's right. But he began to exist. That's the important part.
Oh, hi, Penelope.
Oh, she likes the pink chair. Nobody she likes the other chair.
I don't.
I got down.
I don't know how to break the news, the sad news. I don't know.
And before we get to it, sending love also to Native Atheists.
Thank you so much, Native Atheists. Rant on. She will indeed.
Indeed. It's sometimes hard to shut me up. Cats go in, cats go out. All right. I think in a second I'm going to hand it over to James, and then we are going to get into the fun. Thank you so much again, Native Atheist. It keeps the Skeptic and Ranting community lights on. Sending so much love. And all right, I am going to hand it over to James. And then we are going to get into it. We are talking, in fact, we are indeed skeptically ranting on the link between drones and end times prophecy. And there's Gizmo.
There he is. Kind of have some sad news to give you guys. Gizmo probably has lymphoma. He probably has lymphoma, so we don't know exactly how much longer Gizmo is going to be around. Depends. The vet says there's an aggressive kind and there's a not aggressive kind, and depending on that, if it's the hyper aggressive kind, it'll all be over in a couple months, no matter what. And if not, we could probably, depending on how he does, how he responds to the treatment, depending on his quality of life, and his how he's doing. He's doing a lot better now since he's been taking the medication, the prednisone, which is supposed to reduce the inflammation the lymphoma gets in the GI tract, and so they don't eat. So that's what let me know something was wrong, was that he stopped eating. But he is eating a little bit more now, and so we just have to. He's been taking the medication for about a week and a half now, and he is eating a lot more than he used to. But he's definitely more himself. He's definitely more active and lively. But he still is not. He still has some struggles. He still has a way to go. He's a 15-year-old cat, and he'll be 16 in June. If he makes it to June, he'll be 16. And yeah. Lymphoma, it's a pretty common thing with the cats. Also, the vet gave him starts with an M. It's actually an antidepressant, but the side effect is it stimulates their appetite. So hopefully that will get him eating a little bit more. But he's still here. You always know it's going to happen. You just never really prepare for it. Yeah. Yeah. His original mother, my sister, she's been coming over to spend time with him and bring him some different types of food to see if we get him to eat a little bit more. It's definitely helped. He's definitely a lot more active with the medication. It has improved his quality of life a lot. He's eating a lot more, so he's got a fighting chance to if we can get him a few more months with decent quality of life, that'll be great. Obviously, if that doesn't happen at some point, we'd have to make that tough decision. But for now, he's still doing all right. He's still himself. He's still the same guy. Yeah. Yeah. He's definitely trying. He's trying to eat, so that's important. If they refuse, but he still has an appetite, he tries to eat. So that gives us hope that he's got some time left. He the first the few days before we took him to the vet, when he was he was really on his way down, and he really wasn't himself. He was in pain, and that after we took him to the vet, we got him that medication that first day, and then we came home, and I laid down with him, and he woke up that day, and he was a lot better. He was way more himself, and he just started licking me in the face, and let me know that he was back. He's still trying to be part of the show. So he tolerates the pills. He's not a big fan of it, but we're learning to deal with that. We have tried an alternative treatment for him, which it's purely anecdotal, but at this point, if it helps him, we'll try it. But the dewormer, it's starts with forget what it starts with like fenbendazole. It's being used. A lot of vets are recommending it for cancer, for dogs and cats. My brother-in-law's pit bull had cancer, and then they gave the dog 4 to 6 months to live. He ended up making it 17 months using that. So at that point, we'll try anything if we can get him some more good time with a good quality of life. That's the important thing. If he's still himself, which he still is, he's still just the sweetest guy in the world. And plays with the dog. The dog is adjusting to the cat getting all an increased amount of attention, but he knows that they're perceptive. They pick up on it, that something's different. So yeah, it's a bit of sad news, but it is what it is. It's what's the reality of the situation. We're just hoping that he does as good as he can be for the next few months. Hopefully he'll respond to the treatments. Yeah. You guys hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, okay.
Yes, I can. And okay. I just want to say I'm so sorry, James.
Yes.
I feel like I can say your entire Skeptic and Ranting community, we're sending love. Gizmo is our producer. He is basically our mascot here, sending so much love. Yeah. He always looks happy when he's on camera.
He is happy. Even though he's still not feeling his best, he still wants to be part of the show. He still wants to be, where all the action is. And he's still himself, which is, the important part. He still has a quality of life. He's still, he's still himself. So, yeah. Anyhow.
And all right. I'm sending not just
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you guys for your comments and just all the love you've sent for me and Gizmo over the years. It's been truly appreciated.
Sending love to everybody out there. Thank you, whole Skeptic and Ranting community. You guys are amazing. And all
Even I
right.
tell my sister, and she doesn't realize that this cat, like, she didn't realize that this cat had such a lot of people who were touched by him or that appreciated him.
I was gonna say he's got fans. And okay, we are going to have many fantastic, more great episodes with Gizmo. We are going to continue on now looking at the link between drones and end times prophecy, a video from Grace Digital Network.
Do it to us.
Our bodies are ready.
Well, not mine. I can't handle it. Can you handle it? I don't know. We'll have to wait
I don't
and
know
see.
if we're going to be able to handle this much wisdom. But
What's with all the drones?
what's with all the drones?
C-U-R-R-Y.
Before we get into it, please don't forget to tag with your questions, comments, or one-liners at James W. or at Amy Newman. We're sending love out to everybody out there, and let's get to the fun, the link between drones and end times prophecy.
The link between drones and end times prophecy. Number 1, the final world war. Drones are everywhere these days. They're like
Happy moment.
robots, controlled by people from far away, doing tasks without hesitation or feeling. Some drones are used for spying, others for delivering packages, and some even for warfare. They let us see the world from above, like a bird, without needing an airplane or a pilot's license. But as we use them more, people are asking important questions. Is it okay to use drones in wars, or to watch people without them knowing? There is no doubt that
It's
they're
a
just
tool.
doing it anyway.
They're going to unfortunately use it no matter what.
I mean,
yes.
I mean, it would be okay to use bombs and missiles, but would it be okay to use drones in war? I mean, if your intent is to kill the enemy, I think you just use whatever you need to do. But
war will be a part of the future. And in that case, drones will also play a role in this future. We truly know this because Christ plainly taught that there would be war prior to.
I just like the backdrop of just a bunch of drones and Jesus.
His return. Many people often wonder if we are currently living in the end times. However, the Bible refers to the last days, which we have been in for over 2,000 years. The last days began during Pentecost.
and we'll be in them for another 2,000 years too.
The Bible is a book that contains numerous predictions about the future. In fact, there are 735 predictions in the book, with one prediction found in every quarter of its chapters. While some books focus more on predictions than others, the Bible is essentially a prophetic text from beginning to end.
Well, okay. Which ones did it get right? Like, when's Jesus coming back?
It is believed that every
Amy, you see, they never put like an end date on those, so that they could always come true at some point, Amy. It could be 30 million years from now Jesus could come back. There's no end date on it.
Fantastic. No expiration date.
A state of readiness for the Lord's return. The Bible has been 100% accurate in its predictions that could have been
100%.
100%.
Fulfilled by now. The remaining predictions are mostly concerned with the return of Jesus and the events that follow thereafter. There are approximately
picky
20 of these predictions yet to come true before the return of Jesus. We are keeping a close watch for these events to occur before we can anticipate the Lord's return. Jesus told us to watch and pray. What do we watch? We cannot stand still and
Family Guy?
Watch the clouds to wait for him to appear. He meant to keep an eye on the world and see the signs to prepare.
Again, just image of like Jesus in a drone.
In Matthew chapter 24, we see the disciples asking Jesus about the signs or signals that would indicate his return. They were unsure about what to do if they didn't know when it would happen. However, Jesus gave a direct and clear answer to their inquiry. We can be thankful to God that he responded to their question in such an unambiguous manner. In the book of Revelation, he gives a much more detailed and comprehensive response. But here, he gives a rundown of the signs that will precede his arrival. The disciples approached Jesus secretly as he was seated on the Mount of Olives.
Shh, we're at Olive Garden.
Matthew 24. Jesus answered, "Be careful that no one misleads you, deceiving you and leading you into error. For many will come in my name,
That Jesus is kind of sexy. You're going to see a lot of sexy Jesuses, just like anime Jesus.
misusing it, and appropriating the strength of the name which belongs to me, saying, I am the Christ, the Messiah, the Anointed. And they will mislead many. You will continually hear of wars and rumors of wars."
Oh,
My
constant.
favorite. It's not just wars, James. It's the rumors of wars that gets you.
Always. Like rumors slipping through the middle school hallways. Rumors of wars that are always coming up.
There would be war, like the time before Jesus. Wow, what a profound revelation. I know.
But that's almost as good as earthquakes in diverse places.
Diverse places. I know if
Yeah.
they were all in like one place, that would be fine.
Here or there,
Diverse
I mean,
places.
they're all over here or there. We don't want to tie it to one specific spot.
But I was also thinking the same thing that Regis has was like, can we name a time in history where there wasn't war? What a prediction. I'll tell you.
See that you are not frightened, for those things must take place, but that is not yet the end of the age. For nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be
Yeah, that's war. That's
famines and earthquakes in
Burger
various
King will
places.
rise against
And all these
McDonald's.
things are
James, they said it. You hear it?
and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines and earthquakes in various places. But all these things are merely the beginning of birth pangs, of the intolerable anguish, and the time of unprecedented trouble.
Just the
It is not that surprising that every time we see a drone
dun, dun, dun. You know what I like about? I just like that they're choreographed so well. I appreciate that.
You know what will be where they draw the line in terms of AI is when churches start replacing their pastors with AI. Then they'll say, okay, no, we can replace everybody, but you cannot replace your pastor with AI. No, but we've been paying you $140,000 a year. The AI is cheaper.
We can cut that in half. Well, then how do you feel about this?
Yeah.
Is that working on the CPU?
Yeah.
on TV, we make a straight connection to wars. There are different interpretations of Matthew 24:6. Some people believe that an increase in wars and rumors of wars is an indication of Jesus' imminent return, while others disagree. However,
Yeah. I like how it just goes, well, some people think this, others disagree. Great conclusion.
Just imagine going into a confessional booth and instead of a priest there, it's an AI bot, and so you say Captain Kirk is Christ, and the AI bot is like, that's blasphemy. 10 Hail Marys.
Just please make sure that I'm plugged in. That's all I care about. But yes, Hail Marys.
Yeah, multiple Hail Marys.
examining the verse in its context makes it clear that the frequency of wars and rumors of wars will indeed rise as the return of Jesus draws near.
Movie?
It is important to note that no single war can predict the end of days, since only the Father knows when this will happen.
What the fuck are you talking about?
The Bible uses the term wars and rumors of wars to refer to large-scale conflicts between people groups and nation-states. It does not refer to minor, one-off skirmishes, which are typically called battles.
Why did you have to tell us that? Who the cares? Because you're already going all in. I like
talking about real wars, Amy. Real wars.
But I like how it's exactly. It's like, well, no, it's not just going to be like little battles. I mean, we're talking about rumors of big wars. Oh, cool.
Throughout the Old Testament, Israel is involved in both small and large conflicts, and the Bible differentiates between them. For example, the Battle of Jericho was a one-time conflict, while the Israelites engaged in a war against the Babylonians. Jesus predicted both military conflicts and their discussion. From a technical standpoint, the end times began when Jesus ascended to heaven. In his teachings, the Lord mentioned that the end times...
Yes, he spent 3 days either, doing nothing or apparently in hell, either being tortured, lecturing demons. They don't really go over what he was doing. Maybe he was having a frat
Some
party.
say that he could have been preaching to those who had already gone to hell, and maybe they would have another chance to accept him since they never got to see him on Earth.
I was gonna say, what's the point of going to hell? What's the point of sending them to hell if you're not gonna do the things that happen in hell? James, it would be going to Disney World and not going on any of the rides. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, people do that.
I know they're called
They go there. They go just for the food and the expensive knickknacks at the gift shops.
Gotta get that margarita.
Would be characterized by birth pains. He used the analogy of a woman's labor while giving birth. The duration of labor is unpredictable. Some births are quick.
Yeah, God was kind of an asshole, and apparently childbirth didn't need to be painful, and yet God made it so. Thank you, Adam and Eve story.
While others are prolonged.
And he had to do something. That woman got tricked by the snake. He had to do something.
I know. And James, and I love the apologetic. It's always well, she ate the fruit, didn't she? It's yeah, but if you tell your kid not to eat something and then he eats something, and your first reaction is to punish him by throwing him out of the house and banishing him, you're probably a shitty parent.
I mean, like leaving a flamethrower right out there for your toddler, and when the fire department comes and you say, I told him not to mess with that. I don't know. This kid, there's something wrong with this kid. Yeah. What's wrong with this kid? Why would he burn down the whole neighborhood?
Did he know better? Well, no.
I mean,
was he missing something very specific?
He's a toddler.
I don't know. The knowledge of good and evil.
Well,
I love that.
But I still told him not to mess with it.
Exactly. That's it always goes back to, but I still told him, I know. Yeah, children you're going to tell them to do something and then they're going to do it anyway. And so it's how you punish them. It's a teaching moment. And that is probably a good idea, a good time not to throw your child out of the house.
To another. However, contractions get stronger and stronger as the delivery time approaches. The Bible teaches us the importance of being prepared, both for believers and unbelievers alike. It challenges those who do not yet know Jesus Christ to prepare themselves and pursue a relationship with him, as
I do know the Muffin Man.
He will come again. While there may be disagreements among theologians about when this will happen, the second coming and judgment day are certain to occur. It is the responsibility of Christians to serve him and share the message of salvation with the world. This gives everyone the opportunity to come to faith and know God. Christians should not become obsessed with the end of days or argue.
What? That's their whole thing.
So why are you putting out this video?
Wait.
To come to faith and know God. Christians should not become obsessed with the end of days.
It's weird. It's almost like he's saying, don't pay attention to this video. I think that was what James was just saying. Is that not a...
Yeah.
What the... Can we listen?
I mean, that's the traditional Catholic interpretation, is that we just know so little about it, it's not even worth talking about, really. But these Protestants, they go all in on it.
Or argue about whose interpretation of the end-time events is correct. Instead, they should remember every day that their Savior could return at any moment. They should rejoice in anticipation and continue to spread the gospel to others. Are you ready for whatever may happen in the world in the next 10 years? And are you completely certain about where you will spend your eternity?
Have you strengthened your 401k with gold? That's right. Are you secure for your financial future?
I'm ready to get a reverse mortgage.
Ask yourself. In Matthew 24, Jesus' main goal is not to provide detailed answers about the end times, but rather to prepare us for any future challenges that may
need to know anything like that.
This week, this month, this year, or even 10 billion.
What? Wow, good gamble.
Billion years from now. As followers of Christ, we have someone to rely on and trust. According to the scripture, there is no mention of a specific number of world wars that will occur. The first two world wars, along with a possible third world war, are not explicitly referenced in the scripture. However, the last war is described in detail, leading to the interpretation that there may be other wars before the final conflict.
Wow, deep.
The Apostle John was given a vision of the end times. He documented what he saw in the book of Revelation, starting from chapter 6. This chapter describes a war that will take place, and war continues to be a part of the events that unfold until Christ's return in chapter 19, Revelation 6.
Beavis with fire.
I looked, and
War.
behold, a white horse of victory, whose rider carried a bow, and a crown of victory was
All right, now Jesus is learning how to be a DPS.
given
You
to him,
listen to
and
Johnny
he moved
Cash.
forth conquering
Yes.
and to conquer. Revelation 6 also says, and another, a fiery red horse of bloodshed, came out. And
There's a guitar player in New Vegas, and his name is Johnny Guitar. They have all these songs about Johnny Guitar, and you're like, oh, okay, it's Johnny Cash.
its rider was empowered to
They go
take
around
peace from
taking
the earth,
names.
so that men would slaughter one another, and a great sword of war and violent death. Number 2, the locust
Okay, this is still my favorite because talk about reading into things.
of Revelation. This prophecy takes place during the time of the Revelation. Many people have drawn links between the drones and the locusts of Revelation. Have you ever read Revelation and wondered, what are those terrifying locusts with tails like scorpions? Could they be connected to something we know today, like drones?
No.
Like locusts?
The Old Testament contains
no.
15 books of prophecy, but the New Testament has just one, Revelation. John, an apostle, wrote it while he was in Ephesus. John and Mary, the mother of Jesus, moved there together. They lived out their lives in Ephesus, where they were also buried. Revelation was penned toward the close of the 1st century. During that period, Emperor Domitian demanded that everyone burn incense to Caesar once a year on the Lord's Day. People had to stand before an altar, raise their hands, and declare, Caesar is Lord. For early Christian groups, this was a severe challenge. Their faith was evident. Jesus is Lord.
Yes.
They could not say Caesar is Lord without facing severe consequences. Now, it was crucial to see if the Christians would firmly hold.
Is there an irony in the fact that they care like very deeply that they were persecuted, which is a shitty thing, but then like they tend to persecute? Again, not all of them persecute, but you know what a theme it is in fundamentalist circles to.
You mean like they were talking about the Pharaoh burning them for Rome, the Christian candles that he burnt, and then you know they in the Middle Ages started burning other Christians for having different views on.
Oh, they hate
Christian
each other
doctrines.
almost more, if not more, than us, which is kind of crazy. Catholics and the Christian, or the Catholics and the Protestants. I did the
Calvinists and
Shia and
the
the Sunni,
Trinitarians, the
Calvinists, and
non-Trinitarians.
exactly all these different factions. Yeah.
hold on to their faith. Even before this book was written, people were already dying for their faith. And this whole book is a guide for those willing to die for what they believe.
What the fuck does this say? This is where you look at AI and it
This
goes.
is AI. Yeah,
really-
this is.
Initially, the word martyr just meant witness. But soon, it became clear that being a true witness for Jesus might mean losing your life. That's why the meaning of martyr changed to someone who dies for their faith in Jesus. John wrote the book of Revelation, but it's written differently
John also made him God.
than John's gospel and his 3 letters.
It was a different John.
The book of Revelation was given to
It wasn't the same dude who wrote Revelation. Very, very few scholars think that. But anyway,
Oh, gotcha.
and John didn't write John. They were anonymous, but the person who used the name John.
the Father gave it to Jesus. Then Jesus gave it to an angel. That angel then
What?
passed it on to John, who wrote it down for all the churches.
It's like Whisper Down the Lane, but with angels.
No other book in the Bible came about in such a complex way.
It's almost like
John wrote what
one
he
more
saw
step
and heard.
from the golden tablets.
And it is just one step away from Golden Tablet.
And sometimes what he saw was so extraordinary that the angel had to remind him 11 times to write it all down. During his visions, John was taken up to heaven, where he heard various voices and choirs singing, and he had to make sure he wrote all of these things down. Revelation is an incredible book with a clear subject, the return of our Lord Jesus Christ to earth. This event is predicted 318
Which is funny because it's among atheist circles, like you said, this is where all the crazy happens.
Yeah,
times in the Bible,
The wacky.
making it the most frequently mentioned prediction. The book of Revelation covers the events that occur before, during, and after the return of the Lord Jesus. It is here we see the prophecy and the mysterious angel. It is here John hears this prophecy. Out of the abyss came locusts, unlike anything John had ever seen. They had the power to torment mankind, with tails like scorpions and the sound of chariots rushing into battle. But here's the question. Were these just metaphorical images, or was John seeing something real from the future?
I don't know. You're the theist, the cafeteria Christian. You tell us.
Imagine being a first-century man trying to describe this. Could John have been seeing drones, advanced technology, or
No.
something even more otherworldly? Technology today is advancing at lightning speed. Think about this. Just 100 years ago, the idea of humans flying was considered impossible. Now, we have drones capable of reconnaissance, combat, and even swarming like insects. John describes the locusts as having faces like men, crowns like gold,
Okay, that's a little
and
weird.
breastplates of iron. Their wings sounded like chariots rushing into battle.
He
Does
would
this
have
remind you of
struggled to
anything?
describe it.
Maybe
though.
drones
But
designed-
Would he have said it's a locust? No.
Yeah, why would he say a locust? We actually had metals. You
We
could
know
have
what a
described
locust
it.
was.
You also had iron chariots. Why did you just say that it looked like a device, like an iron, like one of those?
A flying
Why does
device.
it have to be a flying device? Why do you have to go to it was like a living creature?
For warfare? Here's where it gets even more fascinating. The locusts were given power, but only to torment, not to kill. What kind of weapon torments without killing?
Many things actually. I don't understand. Like, that's
The
even
drones kill. I mean, they can kill.
drones are actually quite effective at killing. But
And,
okay,
Could this be advanced non-
CS
technology?
foggers, like
Or something
CN
even-
gas, like tear gas.
oh, there's a million
spraying
ways.
out.
There's way.
Yeah.
I mean, torture as a methodology is about doing things to you that will keep you alive, and yet is very painful. And so I don't understand. But okay.
Let's pause for a second. Revelation 9 isn't just about locusts, it's about judgment. These creatures
Right.
come from the abyss, symbolizing their connection to spiritual darkness. Could it be that John was seeing a combination of
Do they come from the abyss? Because drones come from engineers. Drones come from factories and child labor. So I don't know what you're talking about, but okay.
spiritual and physical realities? Some scholars believe these locusts represent demonic forces unleashed on the earth.
Of course
Others
they do.
argue they symbolize advanced weaponry. Here's the truth. It could be both.
Bees, but let's pretend these are locusts.
But why would God allow this kind of...
Yeah, I didn't know the difference.
Let's go deeper.
I know.
Yeah, I was like,
Listen,
yeah, it's a
Jared.
flying insect.
Listen, motherfucker,
You're-
I gave you an insect that's flying on the screen. What do you want more? from me?
You're not paying for GPT 26. You're only paying for 22. So you take what you get.
So go. So. Okay.
People are in such agony that they beg for death. But death won't come. This isn't just physical pain. It's spiritual torment. The Bible says
Oh.
these locusts only target those who don't have God's seal on their foreheads. Did you know locusts appear 46 times in Scripture? Sometimes they're literal,
Okay.
like in
How many does drone come up in the Bible?
Exodus, and other times symbolic, like in Joel. What does this mean for Revelation 9? Let
Nothing.
me ask you something. How would you describe a drone if you'd never seen one before? Maybe you'd say it looks like a locust, or even a bird.
Why like a locust or a bird? Why can't you also just say those things, but a flying machine?
Now imagine trying to explain that to people 2,000 years ago. Mind-blowing, right?
No.
But here's the thing. This isn't just about drones. It's about how we interpret prophecy.
Is it though?
Are we looking
But yeah, there's lots of mind-blowing things in the Bible, like dragons with 7 heads. I mean, they don't put everything into things that are easily understandable. If it's fucking crazy, they'll just say it's fucking crazy.
I also got to argue with angels the other day, you know, them being mythological creatures. And then when I wouldn't say I pivoted, tried to use another example being giants. They're like, well, those are clearly silly. And I'm like, but how giants are made in the Bible is that you mate a human with an angel. So they're actually a direct link to angels. So how is one silly and one not silly?
Oh, the Nephilim. Oh.
The Nephilim, exactly. You just gotta set them free, James. Nephilim free.
for literal fulfillment? Or are these symbols meant to point us to deeper spiritual truths? Revelation 9 uses words like as and like more than any other chapter in the Bible. He was describing something beyond his comprehension. Think about it. Locusts swarm, they destroy,
Have to.
and they bring judgment. Drones can do the same, targeting with precision and causing chaos. Is this a
Yeah, so can many things. Why does it have to be a drone?
coincidence, or is there a divine connection? Here's the big question. Are these locusts in Revelation 9 supernatural beings, advanced technology, or both? The answer might depend on your perspective, but one thing is clear. They represent judgment, and that judgment
I love that. It's like, is it advanced technology? Is it supernatural? Or both? I'll let you decide, because no one is going to really give me any consequences if I'm wrong.
Or is it just what? Bullshit? You decide.
Yes. It is just bullshit. Next time, I think I'll do 1.5. We'll slow it down. That went way faster. It was 1.5, but that went way faster. Okay, it was good.
Well, I could follow it, but I watched most of it before.
So much wisdom coming in with such speed, but I like the graphics department, James, is becoming fancier as they're able to use AI. Yet, I'll tell you, the content, that Bible is a dry read, let me tell you. That they don't have is they have the same job that we do, and we try and make the Bible entertaining.
It's better when you're making. It's easier when you're just making fun of how stupid it is versus trying to take it seriously, though.
They almost have a harder job, and yet there's people, once again, millions of people that apparently tune in and think that that was, prophetic. The drones, James, were talked about in the Bible. It could be true. Do you think he believes that? Do you think the person who made that believes that?
I don't think a person made that so much as a AI.
Sure, but someone has to put
somebody did.
There has to be someone who believes, who wants to put that link together. And my question
is, I think they believe in views, the God of views.
The God
How many views?
Views?
That video.
And it might be.
How many views are they worshiping?
Let's take a look. I like how the one that goes after it. Is there evidence of the great Sphinx in Exodus? No.
No.
But 24,000.
Okay.
Modest, but still pretty good.
Did you say, oh, you're jealous?
Well, and no, I want businesses to do well. I want channels as a content creator. I want to support other content creators. It's not about that. It's that, I think, and I think James is the same way, that religious ideas are generally harmful to the society. I mean, everyday theists are fine. I mean, when you're going to a bake sale and someone, says I'm either going to church, synagogue, or mosque, fantastic. If you want to celebrate a holiday, fantastic. We had a Christmas tree. I find it fun. I think I've said this before. I like having a Christmas tree because the Bible tells you not to. Literally says, don't hoist up a tree and decorate it with gold and silver. And yet,
don't do it for Baal. They did it. They were doing it for Baal.
Wow. We do it for the true God, James. There's only one true God in this country, and that is 3 letters, USD. The only 3 that matter in this country.
And we know that the story of Jesus was true in the Old Testament. We just had Christmas, guys. We just had our Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
And as you said, pointed out before, we are allowed to say Merry Christmas before. I know there was a ban where they would drag you away. It's terrible.
And we know because the Bible describes this this census that took place, and we know, like today, that when the government takes a census, they don't want to know where people live now. They want to know where you were born, So you all have to go back to where you used to live and do the census there. And then the entire country can migrate back, back to,
You can shimmy.
yeah. Because when you're trying to do government and allocate resources and taxes and funds and stuff, you want to know where people used to live, not where they live now. That would be the most efficient way of doing that. Or it could be because, the writers saw in the Old Testament, like, oh, he's got to be born in Bethlehem, but he's a Nazarene. How do we do that? How do we do that? Oh, he was a Nazarene who had to go to Bethlehem for a census. There you go.
Yes, he had to journey around.
And then he had to go to Egypt. He had to go to Egypt, too, because he's got to be from Egypt, too, so he could escape King Herod killing all the babies, which surely would have been recorded in history, but somehow wasn't.
Also, Jesus never writes any of those stories. There's lots of tales about, him in there, but there's also a time skip for those, fan of anime.
There's a gap.
It goes from
A
being a
gap
boy
of knowledge.
and then he's in his 30s.
He's lecturing the elders at the temple. He's telling them what for, and
as you do.
They're like, "Oh, this kid, he knows more than all of us. We should just retire and let him take over."
Oh, speaking of retiring, and we should let them take over. We are at least. I probably should go to bed soon, but we are. I'll give.
You can open up for a little bit.
I'll give at least 15 or 20 minutes if you agree with us, and probably a good. And if you disagree with us, I'll probably give you a good 3 to 8 hours. And so that's generally how.
Well, I can only be here for the next 6 days.
All right. Well, then I think we're going for 6 days.
Maybe 5 days. I could be here. I could go another 5 days.
Oh, and I normally drink caffeine before I start these streams, and I haven't done that. I haven't had even coffee. But I am sending it in there. Come one, come all, just not on my sheets, or else my femboy has to do the laundry.
I mean, it would blend in with the other cum shots on there, so
Listen, it would match my outfit today. Oh, we're naughty, but it's late night here, early morning, depending on.
Amy was dreaming of a white Christmas.
Of a white Christmas. Oh, I got the best. What's up, BV? I got the best gift of all. Not to brag. I think I was talking about James with this before stream, but we got 2 weeks off because they voted on when to allocate days for vacation. We got 2 big weeks off, which I was like, okay, sounds good. And had that, and as we're about to go back, it was I want to say a Christmas miracle. It wasn't on Christmas. It was a snow day miracle. Sunday into Monday, we got 6 to 7 inches.
Oh, wow.
A lot of snow. A lot of
Almost
snow.
8 inches. You need to get 8 inches, really. But.
Yes, basically, if you want to hit that G spot. And after, a certain amount, they called off, and I was like, yes. And we had that day off. And then they called off again the next day, even after it didn't snow. And I was like, yes. And they kept doing that up until basically Friday. I love the South. Oh, my goodness. Listen, I want to both say to my administration that you did the right thing. And woo! Oh, my goodness. Rachel was making fun of me the whole time because I was being productive basically the first 2 weeks. And then that last week, they knew Vegas.
Can't you do school on Zoom now?
Yes, if the problem with that is that it's almost like you have to have that planned and it would be like maybe you'd probably have a month or so, 2 months, or even a semester on Zoom. But it's hard with the snow because they're waiting each day to see if just the the roads get better. If just they think that a kid is gonna slip because I'm sure they have. Well, I say I'm sure, I know they have walkers, and so they're just worried that a kid is gonna fall on the ice because it snows, and then it during the day it melts, and then during the night it freezes again, and you almost get it's like more dangerous, I guess, on day 3 than it is on day 1. And so, depending on the environment. But hey, I'm okay with that. I-91. That's funny, Regis.
Of course, what global warming? Ha ha. It's snowing.
That's what I get. But you know what? It's a slow process. Humans aren't good at understanding consecutive years just happening slowly and gradually, and the storms are getting crazier. At least they are, as far as I can tell. Things seem to be getting a little bit kookier. I know it was like 80 degrees in November. Biblical. See, the problem is that if we were wiped out, it wouldn't be the end of the world. I'm going to keep on making this point. I feel like I'm not the first person, but it's becoming my shtick. The planet would be fine. If anything, the planet would probably be better.
I mean, depending on the level of catastrophe. But yeah.
Yes. Now, listen, this isn't me saying I want humans to go away. I'm still Team Human. I'm biased. All I'm saying is that we are very egotistical in that one department. We frame our society crumbling as the end of the world because it's the end of our world. We're like, well, it's the end of the important shit. Yeah, it's like, but people are still trading. If people are trading, if people are still cooking food and doing things, it's not the end of the world. It could be shitty outside. You could say, oh, look at the environment. So it's the... In fact, the more I think about it, New Vegas is not a post-apocalyptic game. It is a post...
What is it then?
It is a post-nuclear holocaust. I'm trying to think what the direct... So can I tell you, can I ruin Fallout for you, James? Because you should watch the
Please
series. I want you to do it. Okay. So, because it's fantastic. And it's both a mature game, but it's very comedic. Okay. So it takes place originally in 1950. The whole game is very 1950s oriented. And they are preparing for what they think is going to be the end of the world. The nukes are going to bomb. They are in a war with the Chinese. They call it the American Scion. I can't even say it. Sino War. So the
Sino, yeah.
Sino
Chinese.
And so they're trying to develop different technology, and they're racing to get to the nukes. And you have what are called vaults. All right. They are basically a corporation is selling that a paradise-like getaway in these sealed away vaults for when the nukes go off, you will be able to live happily and safely in this vault.
Oh. And where exactly does Wesley come into the game? Curry? C-U-R-R-Y?
Why is my brain Who's Wesley? I'm trying. I'm one
Nukes,
of.
Angels, Nukes in Chicago.
Oh, is this a sports reference?
No, Wesley Curry, the guy who comes in our chat and rants about nukes every once in a while.
Oh, that Wesley. Oh my
That Wesley.
goodness.
Yeah, that Wesley.
Can I tell you that I have a student, and I have reattuned his name to okay, yeah, that Wesley. Yeah. Yeah, where's him when you well, I always say, I'm like, were you just playing Fallout? Is this where this all comes from? Jesus Christ. I just remember that when he came in here that one time all defeated and was like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, when he's just like talking normal subjects. We're like, Wesley, why aren't you talking nukes? And he's
Because
like,
we told him not to.
Well, not only that, but he said that, well, I was talking with my family, and every time I was there, everyone always gets weird on me and just treats me like it. I'm like, okay. I was like, hey, it's getting through to him. Yeah. Okay, but I'm not gonna have my ADD. Okay, so we have these volts. Okay. Now, unbeknownst to the player or the viewer at the time, because I'm going to slowly spoil it, but what can I tell you? The bombs are dropped. A nuke is dropped on America. In fact, multiple nukes are dropped on America. And that is basically how Fallout opens. And so it then says 200 years
It's like
later.
Man in the High Castle.
And actually, I've never seen. I feel like I should have seen that. Was it good?
I liked it. It's on Amazon. It's basically in an alternate universe where the Germans and Japanese won World War II, and U.S. is occupied half Germany, half Japan.
Got you. Yeah, kind of sad. And so I'll check it out.
But in that world, they got the nuke first. That's how they won. So the Germans
and they hit throughout the whole game.
DC, yeah.
Throughout the whole game in the series, you think it's the Chinese that dropped the nukes. You go, well, they were in a war with each other. They were racing to get the nukes. And what you learn is that I'm going to spoil it, okay? First of all, 200 years later, it's the end, they're living in this whatever wasteland and all this, and they come to learn that Vault Tech, the company that creates the vaults, and they create a lot of other things, but the point of the vaults was not actually to keep people safe from the nukes. That was one of the purposes. Was sure, you want to keep the people alive, but you want to keep the people alive because each vault is a different experiment. And what type of experiment is depending on who is in control of the vault. And
so it's about forcing people into these vaults so they can conduct these experiments.
You trick them. You sell it. They sold it as if it was going to be a wonderland, and it was going to save you from the nukes. And technically, it did. But the point is that they did all sorts of experiments. You could, one of them was like, hey, I just want one of my robots to run one of the vaults. Can I do that? And another one was like, I'm going to have each one of mine have people fight each other until the strongest is the last one to live. And so you realize that it's just a bunch of
not
rich assholes. Yes. And the other thing you learn, which they hint at least confirming, I believe in the series, is that it was not the Chinese that dropped the nukes. It was, if you can understand their logic, it was Vault-Tec that dropped the nukes.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
And they said that peace was not good for business and that they were investing in technology in an apocalypse, and you need an apocalypse for that to happen. It's a really good series. The game and the show are actually really good, and they both have the same shtick, which is that although it's mature and lots of blood and killing and cursing, it is tongue-in-cheek and sarcastic, and it's really good. He also, they're one of the main characters. Yes, is that almost like a John Wayne character. The gunslinger is pretty amazing. That's his archetype. What is he? The ghoul. The ghoul.
The ghoul.
Yes, because the ghouls in Fallout are radiated people. There's in Fallout, what happens is you have a chance of getting so much radiation put into your body that you actually develop your skin starts to like peel and your nose falls off and stuff, but you can live for hundreds of years. There is the chance, in fact, I think it's most of them go insane, but there are some people within New Vegas that are from the 1950s era. They've been around for hundreds of years, and so you look at them and they don't look great. I'll tell you. Some people in that series are brains and vats. They really are. It's fun. I love it.
Is it more of a game built around a show or a show built around a game?
It is originally a game. It was originally the first two games were strategy games. And then Bethesda bought it, and they were in the throes of making one of their Elder Scrolls series was really popular at the time. I'm trying to remember if it was Morrowind. That'll mean nothing to you, but like they were coming out of becoming a really popular RPG company, and they were looking for another game. I only know this because I'm obsessed with it. And so they bought the rights to Fallout, and they're like, we're going to make it into a first-person shooter RPG. And so it's, instead of a strategy RPG, now it's a first-person shooter RPG. Oh. But it definitely has a more Grand Theft Auto feel to it than probably Fallout 1 or 2, because you can basically sit there and, fucking fire different. It has a whole different bunch of different guns. It has 9mm and 10mm. It has a variety of different pistols and shotguns, but then it
9mm, 10mm.
11mm. I have never 40. Trying to buy ammo in this game is insanity because there's so many guns, and then there's like some of them are hollow point, some of them are armor piercing, and you're trying to just. But then there are big weapons. They have rocket launchers. They have flamethrowers. They have fucking energy weapons. They have laser weapons. And I shit you not, in both games, there are aliens. You get abducted. I got abducted the first time, and then you go through this whole fucking
they
thing.
Probe you?
I do think they do probe people. Yes, they did probe people. You get logs back talking about how they were probed.
There you go.
You get an awesome fucking gun up there too.
This is like I remember no shit. 2014, okay, and everybody's talking about like this Walking Dead bullshit. And I'm like, what? I have no idea what this fucking. And they're like filling me in on like the first 2 seasons, and like, okay. And now I just see like on my phone, like apparently that's still a fucking thing. Walking Dead.
Oh
like,
yeah, I think the last season is about to hit.
Like
There's
the
lots of
main
spinoffs.
series ended like 2022, but now there's all these spinoffs. It's like Star Wars. It's just growing. Like, but at some point it becomes almost cancerous.
Oh yeah, these shows.
Which I think has happened to Star Wars. I think it's metastasized. And
well, Star Wars is complicated because it's become so big. It's become basically its own franchise. So now you have different directors and different. Not that George wasn't going crazy himself, but he did a lot of good work. And George, I know that you need to come back and make Darth Jar Jar. Please set the trilogy right.
Hey, at this point, anything would, that would be good.
It would make so much sense.
Even Star Trek is metastasized. Like, I just got like in the last week or so, they said, oh well, now maybe Star Trek Discovery might not be canon anymore. They're just going to say that they're just going to spin that off and say that was in an alternate universe because it hasn't aged well. I guess, even though
I feel bad for Sony's movies as well. Sony has been having a tough time with they did Madam Web. Madam Web, I feel like they also didn't advertise. I didn't even know that movie was a thing until I saw reviews for it. There were great reviews. A movie, and I'll say this, James, and then in a second, I think that'll be we can close up shop.
We can start wrapping up. Yeah.
But I saw the new Joker movie, and my goodness, was it terrible. It is an entire movie where
is this 2 or 3?
This is the second.
So the first one, I remember. I believe you say you liked it. I thought it was pretty good too. Yeah, I thought the first one was good. I didn't have is no good.
It is waiting. Are you gonna watch it?
I mean, I probably will at some point. Yeah.
Okay, so don't spoil it. It just feels like I'll say the one thing I was saying that I said throughout it, that it feels like you're waiting for something to happen. That's what the movie. It's 2 hours long, so
it keeps you on the edge of your seat. You're waiting for it.
And I don't want to spoil it because he actually told me.
What I have been watching was on Netflix. It's a series called Evil, which actually has to do with evil. It has to do. Starts off with a Catholic priest or a priest in training, a psychologist, an agnostic Muslim, and they're just evaluating. No, they're evaluating cases for demonic possession and stuff like that. And of course, it's all real, but in the series. But it is kind of funny because like the psychologist is a lapsed Catholic, but doesn't really believe, and the Muslim he's an agnostic, but he's more to the atheist side. Like they keep having all these like blatantly supernatural things happen, but they maintain their skepticism, like to like an absurd level. Like I think even like you in like a position like that, you would have something's going on here. This is not like.
Well, I wouldn't call it. My thing is, it becomes a label battle. Like it wouldn't be supernatural anymore. It would be natural. Like if I saw someone shooting lightning from their thunder tips, I wouldn't say, "Oh, that's supernatural." I would go, "Oh, well, this person can clearly shoot lightning from their from their fingertips." What's the reason or what we label it is another thing. But yeah, eventually you got to be convinced of whether it's trickery or not. You are clearly, you have to then test it, I guess.
It's an interesting show. Obviously, it's all fictional, but hey.
Yeah, well, you gotta have that skeptical character, or else it's just blind faith, James. You don't want blind faith. I mean, regular faith is good, but not
I mean,
blind.
pretty much everybody's possessed at one point, or as demons visit them, or be it in their sleep, or interacting with them in their life. And then there's the nun who could just see the demons. She could just see them, like looking at me or you. She could see one in the room and go over and talk to it and tell it to fuck off or whatever.
Go screw yourself.
Basically, yeah.
Oh, so what's up, God equals square root -1. All I know is that I see a lot of great fantasies going on there.
There you go. Yeah. It looks good.
But James, any final thoughts?
No. Just thank everybody for their support for Gizmo, and he's gonna with any luck, he's got a good bit of time ahead of him. If we can give him good quality of life, we can keep him happy and get him eating and everything, and he'll be around at least a little bit longer. But
we're sending so much love to Gizmo.
He's a fighter. Cute. He's a fighter. He's trying to keep it going. Yeah. So hey, I'll keep you guys posted. I'll probably be going to the vet in another week or so to see how he's doing, see if he stopped losing weight. Which they want him to eat. They want him to stop losing weight. Hopefully, start to gain a little bit back. Would be ideal. They don't want an animal to waste away. If nothing's working, but I'll keep you guys posted. We love you guys.
We love Gizmo. Thank you so much, James. And thank you so much, Gizmo. We are sending love to you out there, and I know you guys all love Gizmo. And all right, I think that's gonna do it for tonight. I do want to. I guess look forward. Please send in love into the future. If I'm trying not, I don't oversleep. So, but hopefully I'll be there in the morning with Randolph and Taco, Ix, and the rest. That is this morning. Yep. Because we were supposed to go last week, but apparently we're going this week, which I was fine with. I feel like no matter what I'd end up doing this because my time management skills are
focus.
FUCUS. Anyway, I want to thank you all for joining us on this episode of The Link Between Drones and End Times Prophecy. Dun, dun, dun. I knew it, White Castle. It's their headquarters. Anyway, yes, we watched a video from the channel Grace Digital Network, who we're going to watch again because they apparently made an anime entitled The Link Between Drones and End Times Prophecy for some high-flying fun at the end of the world. But I do want to thank my co-host, James W., along with all of the fantastic people in chat, our awesome mods who make this stream so great, and lovely viewers like you who make this channel even possible. Woo! If you enjoy the show, please don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Woo! And then hit that bell icon to all so that you can see our premieres or join our live streams. I really have to figure out this shorts thing with the titles because I haven't been able to get title cards properly with shorts, but I have all these shorts that I want to upload. Anyway, or hey, why not leave a comment once the video's done? I also want to thank love to the people who sent super chats like Native Atheist. Thank you so much again. Mwah, mwah. As well as all of our channel members with our evolving badge system. You can click there, and slowly over time, the badges will evolve. In fact, you get a whole bunch of fun emojis. Look at the trees. I need to get more apologetic argument emojis because I swear those are our best.
Yeah.
As well as all of our Patreons at patreon.com/Amy Newman. What was that?
To look at cancer, look at the slums of Mombasa, look at
Exactly.
the shitty things, and no, God doesn't get any of the blame for that. He gets no blame. It's all our fault. He's got all the knowledge, all the power, all the ability, but it's none of the fault. No blame whatsoever.
Conveniently, he's got a fall guy, James. Well, all the good stuff he did, all the bad stuff, that was Satan. Good thing going on. But yes, and with that, I think it's way too late for me to say. I normally look for streams to send you out to, but I think there's nobody live right now. So go check out some Atheist Experience or The Line or SpeedOfSound. Oz was doing some DJing. Go check out Oz. There's honestly Mark Reid, a million atheists. AJ, sending love to all those. All right, I think that's it. I hope we tucked you in, and between James W. and myself, we will see you all on the next episode of Skeptic Ranting. Good night, everyone. Mwah!